Hello, everybody. Welcome to our 2014 show. We will be doing a review of the most important events of 2014 in our opinion. The review will last about 5 minutes. We will begin with the sad part of the show. In this part, we will be covering the tragedies and wars of 2014. Go.
The Russia-Ukraine conflict. In 2014, the Russian military decided to walk in on Ukrainian land on the peninsula Crimea. Russia did this because they believed that Crimea belonged to them because so many native Russians lived there. The man behind the action taking was Putin, the Russian president. Many people fear that it was the start of a plan from Putin to take over even more of the world.
The Malaysia Airlines tragedy. The Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 was an international flight which mystically disappeared on the 8th March 2014. The flight was scheduled to fly from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia to Beijing, China. Less than an hour after takeoff, the flight made its last voice contact with the air traffic control on the 7th March at 19 minutes over 5 UTC. There were 227 passengers on the flight and 12 crew members. The flight has not been found yet, and all the 239 persons on the flight have been reported dead. The Malaysian Prime Minister has also reported that it is expected that the flight has crashed down into the Indian Ocean.
ISIS is a terrorist group from Syria based on the Islamic region. They are what is known as extremists and go to extreme measures to defend what they stand for. ISIS has killed a lot of people in Syria because they did not follow the principles of their Islamic religion. This behavior has outraged people all around the world because they think what they do and their reasons for doing it are completely wrong and very frightening. The conflict between ISIS and the rest of Syria is still a big concern of the whole world, and politicians and world leaders are working to work it out.
Now for the second part of our show. In this part, we will be covering the different illnesses of 2014.
The year 2014 was the year that Ebola became known all around the world. Ebola is a disease that has existed in Africa for many years. But this year, the illness spread outside of the African continent. People that had visited Africa were somehow infected with Ebola. They took the disease back with them. Many people and countries have been very afraid of Ebola. Luckily, the disease was kept under control and is now back in Africa with a very little sick people. About 8,000 people have died of Ebola in Africa and few others around the world.
ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. The Ice Bucket Challenge is a phenomenon that spread around the world. It is a challenge where you must pour a bucket of ice water over yourself. Then you must nominate 3 people to do the same thing. People all around the world did the challenge, including big celebrities like Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg and Mikkel Hansen. The challenge was created to raise awareness around ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, a neural disease that slowly destroys the nerves of the deceased, slowly killing them. The bucket of ice is supposed to give a feeling that people with ALS experience every day.
In 2014, we witnessed some extraordinary sporting events that will go down in history.
The World Cup in Brazil. In 2014, the World Championship in football was held in the South American country Brazil. The World Cup is always a big international event that captivates people around the world, and it was just as big as always. The favorites to win the World Cup was the Brazilian hosts, but the winners ended up being Germany, after beating Brazil 7-0 in the semi-finals. Massive amounts of money went into the World Cup from the Brazilian organizers. The Brazilian government spent a total of $14 billion, destroying favelas to build huge stadiums, and just preparing in different ways.
Men's Handball European Championship in Denmark. The European Championship in handball was held in Denmark in January 2014. Entering the tournament as defending champions at home, Denmark was the favorite to take the championship. 16 teams participated in the tournament, whereas Spain, Croatia, Denmark and France were the 4 teams who went on to the knockout stage. France ended up beating Denmark 41-32 in the final to become the European champion. The Most Valuable Player award was handed to Nikola Karabatic from France, and the top goal scorer in the tournament was Juan Canellas from Spain. Sochi Olympics. The official 2014 Winter Olympics were held in Sochi, Russia. The games lasted from the 7th to the 23rd February 2014 and were officially opened by the President Vladimir Putin. A record of 88 different nations and 2,873 athletes participated in the games. Aside from being the host, Russia was also ranked as the number 1 of total medals won at the games, with impressive 33 medals, whereas 13 of them were gold. The estimated budget of the games was at $12 billion. However, some different parameters caused the budget to expand to over $51 billion. We will now be rounding off our show with some things that have happened in Denmark or where some Danish people have been involved.
Kevin Magnussen. In 2014, the Danish driver Kevin Magnussen became a part of the Formula 1 racing championships. Kevin was viewed as one of the biggest racing talents in a very long time when he joined the Formula 1. In the beginning of his career, he put up some great results, but he didn't really win any titles. But Kevin's performance didn't stay on the good side, and his employers Mercedes and McLaren weren't happy with him. They decided to replace Kevin with the driver Alonso. So 2014 was the year of both Kevin's entrance into Formula 1 and his exit thereafter. Eurovision. The European Song Contest Eurovision was held in Denmark. The Danish participant was Basim with the song Cliché Love Song. 37 different countries from around Europe participated. The Danish government spent a lot of money arranging the show. The show had 195 million viewers, 2.4 hereof were Danish. A total of 334 million Danish krones were spent, which exceeded the budget with about 100 million Danish krones. The winner of the contest was Conchita Wurst, and Austria Hermaphrodites. She won with the song Rise Like a Phoenix.
Thank you for your attention, everybody.
We hope that 2015 will also be a very good year with many amazing events.
Bye bye!